We're traveling back to that glorious day when calendars had given up and time and space had completely lost all meaning. It's a rainy Tuesday morning. About 10 centimeters beneath the soil, in a dark, damp world that smells overwhelmingly like fertilizer, you come into existence. Well, open your eyes is just an expression, because you don't actually have eyes. You don't have ears either. In fact, your brain is little more than a handful of nerve clusters, so you're living in a state of pure, blissful ignorance. Congratulations, buddy. You are now officially an earthworm. Your first few minutes are pretty confusing. Where the hell am I? Where are my arms and legs? And who stole my pants? You try to look around, but since you don't even have a jawbone, the best you can do is squeeze and stretch your slimy body, slithering around like a tiny anaconda. Nature didn't exactly give you a premium starter pack. No clothes, no charisma, a face with no eyelids, and an endless desire to eat dirt. Yep, you heard that right. Your entire culinary tradition consists of dirt. Breakfast? Muddy soil. Lunch? Half-rotten elm leaves. Dinner? More dirt. This time topped with a generous serving of organic waste. A true gourmet lifestyle. You don't even have enough brain power to sit there thinking, man, other creatures are living the dream. Harrison Okene survived at the bottom of the ocean wearing nothing but boxers. Cristiano Ronaldo is out there making billion-dollar shots every day, and I'm literally chewing mud. Overthinking simply isn't an option. Your life philosophy is beautifully simple. Move, eat. Turn it into fertilizer. Repeat. You're basically an underground construction worker. Now let's talk about your body, because it's honestly an engineering masterpiece, with a strong comedic twist. For starters, you don't have just one heart. You're the kind of guy who proudly says, "My heart's huge, bro," because you actually have 5 pairs of hearts. 10 hearts in total. But are they there to help you survive heartbreak? Of course not. They work around the clock in perfect synchronization, pumping blood through your long, slimy, segmented body. You don't have lungs either. So how exactly are we supposed to breathe? Through your skin. Your skin absorbs oxygen directly from the moisture around it. That's why it always has to stay wet and slimy. If your skin dries out even a little, you suffocate. For you, moisture equals life. Dryness equals tragedy. Unfortunately, your peaceful underground existence can be ruined at any moment by nature's collection of absolute psychopaths. Your greatest lifelong enemy? Birds. Those adorable little creatures hopping around parks and gardens? Yeah, they're actually serial killers. One day, a heavy rainstorm floods your tunnels. The soil fills with water, and suddenly you can't breathe underground anymore. So you think, I'll pop up for a bit, get some fresh air, maybe see what's going on up there. Worst timing imaginable. Out of nowhere, a blackbird dives at nearly 120 kilometers per hour, grabs you right in the middle with its beak, and starts pulling you toward the surface. You're pulling downward. The bird's pulling upward. Before you even have time to scream, "Dude, I have a bad back, I just got married!" Snap. You're ripped clean in half. For most animals, that's game over. But you're an earthworm. This is where evolution throws you an unbelievable lifeline. As long as the front half of your body, the part containing your vital organs and your 10 hearts, stays safely underground, you basically tell the bird, "Enjoy your meal, buddy, keep the change." The bird flies off with your back half, while you disappear deeper into the soil. A few weeks later, you simply grow a new tail. It's basically immortality, just with a very expensive replacement policy. Of course, birds aren't your only problem. There's another species out there, humans. The single greatest menace on Earth. While you're down below quietly aerating the soil, helping plants grow, and secretly keeping entire ecosystems alive, some guy suddenly drives a massive rusty shovel straight into your home. Instantly, your roof is gone. Your privacy disappears. And worst of all, sunlight. The one thing you absolutely hate. It starts drying out your skin immediately. Then the giant grabs you with enormous fingers and tosses you into a plastic container filled with damp soil. You look around, and there are thousands of worms just like you. Nobody has any idea what's happening. You think, where are we going, guys? Free burger giveaway? A few minutes later, you're standing beside a lake. Someone pulls you out of the container and brutally impales you alive on a rusty fishing hook. Then they throw you into the water. You look up, and there's a massive 11-pound carp swimming straight toward you with its mouth wide open. No escape, no arms, no legs. For an earthworm, That's a pretty tragic way to go. And what if you somehow avoid becoming fishing bait? Well, there's another nightmare waiting for you: moles. These guys are basically underground commandos. They can't see, but they can smell you from nearly 3 meters away. The moment one enters your tunnel, you desperately try to sprint away with your slimy little body, but it's hopeless. When a mole catches you, it doesn't kill you. Instead, it gives your head a tiny bite that paralyzes you. Then, it drags you into its secret underground pantry, where it keeps you alive. Whenever it gets hungry, it simply comes back and tears off another piece. You've basically been kidnapped by the underground mafia. It's an absolutely brutal business. But if you manage to survive all of that, if the birds miss you, if you never end up on a fishing hook, and if you avoid becoming an appetizer in a mole's pantry, you can spend 4 to 5 years living like royalty beneath the ground. No taxes, no calculus exams, no cost of living crisis. When your time finally comes, you won't leave behind luxury cars, massive mansions, or billions of dollars. Instead, you leave something far more valuable: the fertile soil where humans grow rice, tomatoes, and the wheat that eventually becomes their bread exists largely because of your endless appetite and your tireless underground labor. Without earthworms, huge portions of this planet would slowly become barren wasteland. Most people don't have the slightest clue. So the next time you're walking down the street and see a little slimy worm crawling across the ground, don't just think, "Ew, gross," because that tiny creature is actually the humble, hidden king of the underground with 10 hearts. And if nothing else, everyone watching this video is going to remember your muddy little adventure and the incredible underground empire you've been quietly running all along.